Greetings, everybody. This is Cesare Warren coming to you again live from Chicago on Centering Possibility Live, a series that is intended to spotlight all of the art and artists of folks who've contributed to my latest book, Centering Possibility in Black Education, being published on Teachers College Press by Columbia University. And this book and its content is made possible in part through the generous contributions of artists like the one that I am getting ready to introduce to you all right now. I'm happy to bring on screen Mahogany Jones, all the way from Daytona Beach, Florida, right?
Yes, Daytona Beach, Florida.
How you doing, Mahogany?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm good. The sun is shining. It's a Friday. Not sure when people are going to be able to watch this, but we're recording on a Friday, so we good. We getting it popping. So listen, tell us about Mahogany Jones. Who is Mahogany Jones?
I am a hip hop soul recording artist, arts educator. I'd like to say that I am an artivist or activist. I really, it's important to me to use my voice to talk about things that matter, and to use my art in a way that will help shift paradigms, and change the way that we move. I'm a wife, I'm a mom. I'm very proud to be both those things right now. Lover of Christ and just lover of my people.
Indeed, indeed. And tell us what is bringing you joy. The world is crazy. There's no need to necessarily name all of the things that are happening in the world around us. But how are you finding Black joy in this moment?
I'm really finding so much joy in motherhood. I'm a new mom, and I did not know what to expect. I was actually didn't think it was gonna go down. I'm a little seasoned. And I'm just so happy. I'm really finding a lot of joy in my family. So my husband and my daughter and my stepchildren are bringing me lots of joy, and just appreciating them in this season of my life. And I've also, because things are virtual and things are so crazy, when I was in Detroit, I spent a large amount of time in Detroit. I worked few organizations, and one of them was a literary arts organization. And even though I'm here in Daytona and they're in Detroit, I've been able to partner up with them again. And so teaching poetry and doing these virtual sessions with these young people, especially like right now, has been so much life for me. Like, you know, I get a little Zoom exhausted, but I love getting to connect with them. It's been beautiful. So those two things are paramount right now.
Yeah. So, what are you from Detroit originally?
I'm initially a New Yorker, so spent like I want to say from one to like 23 of the years of my life in New York, and then from like 23 to like 40, I spent in Detroit.
Oh, we love Detroit. I'm a professor at Michigan State, transitioning to I'm a professor. I've been at MSU 7 years and transitioning this fall to Vanderbilt University, but got to really know and I'm from Chicago, so you know Chicagoans. We cousins. For real.
Actually,
we don't really go to
Chicago are cousins.
We are, but see, Chicagoans are shady cousins because they never come to Detroit. We always force our Detroit cousins to come to us, and that ain't fair. And when I lived in Michigan, I spent a lot of time in Detroit and really developed a love for the city and the Coney hot dog, all of it. What's the Shane Park that's now the Aretha Franklin. Saw some great concerts in Shane Park before it was Aretha Franklin Pavilion. So I got love for Detroit for sure.
But you know what's funny is especially I think you initially being from Chicago, me initially being from New York and being from like bigger cities and not getting to experience Detroit when it was at its zenith or, you know, when it was in its heyday. I think we forget just how magical our city is, how magical, you know, Detroit as a city is and the people are. You know, it's not as bells and whistly as New York or Chicago when it comes to aesthetics, but it's something about it. It's really a beautiful place, and the people make it beautiful.
The people make it beautiful. The people make it beautiful for sure. So you talked about yourself as an artivist
Yes.
and an artist educator and recording artist, and what it seems to me, the consummate creative. When you saw a book about an academic book on an academic press about possibility and Black education, what prompted you to want to submit pieces to be included in this work? What motivated you?
On site. I think, it's been interesting for me because I've been, like I said, in virtual spaces or in virtual classrooms, and not all of the classrooms that I've been in have been shared with Black educators. And especially doing poetry or doing like language arts, language is very important. And how our young people get to see themselves and how we show up in academic spaces is everything to how we perform, and it informs how we do. And I think it takes a lot. It takes good parenting. It takes books like what you're doing right now to help us to go against the grain and to go outside what is the usual story about who we are and how we show up in academia and how we learn and our capabilities, and the fact that it's 2021 and that's still happening, and that's still kind of the air that our children live in and our young people live in and our college students live in, is ridiculous. So I was ready, like I said, just on site to contribute. I want my daughter to be able to be in a classroom and know that she is expected to perform well and know that she is just as brilliant as all her other counterparts. And I think that what you're doing is really important.
I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you saying that. And so as I've said before, and I'll continue to say every one of these, just as a reminder to people who are maybe watching this for the first time and you haven't seen any of the other videos, this book was written foremost with the intention of naming and redefining and reimagining Blackness as full of beauty, as full of potential, and full of possibility. And in doing so, as we think about education and advancing education in ways that produce humanizing experiences of school for Black kids, it's important that we lead with their possibility rather than leading with all of the problems that they're facing. So you submitted two pieces, Melanin and Black Girl Magic, that helped to transition between chapters. And you're not going to get to see a performance of both because you got to get the book. But you will get to see a performance of one of them, Melanin, which comes after chapter 1, where I spend some time just thinking with and reminding us from whence we've come, that Black people have always survived, that we've always found ways to thrive in the midst of ongoing racial terror. And that piece really helps to sort of seal that chapter. Can you talk a little bit about Melanin, where you were when you wrote it, why it's significant, and how do you see its connection to this broader project of possibility and Black education transformation?
Okay, so I would be remiss if I didn't tell the story that really riled me up. Waiting to teach my poetry class, and the teacher is teaching on Huckleberry Finn. But she's not teaching on Huckleberry Finn. She spent 40 minutes focused on breaking down and trying to translate the dialect of the Black person in Huckleberry Finn. And I just remember sitting there seething, like, why is this relevant? And why do you find it so important to try to translate how I speak? And is this even how I spoke then? Or is this how you imagined I spoke? And I spoke perfectly good English because I'm in America, right? And I'm sure even though it was Southern dialect that, hey, he probably spoke Southern, Huckleberry Finn was speaking Southern dialect as well. So it was just so many things that made me infuriated about that moment. And it's like, man, like, this is not the scope or the purview in which our children need to see each other. Like for Black History Month, no disrespect. Like we don't need another slave story. We don't need, another, lesson on the same recycled civil rights leaders, as if there aren't people who are current, who are doing things now to make things go in our community. So I just, when I wrote Melanin, it was 2019, and I was just over it. And I realized that as an adult woman, like I said, I'm a little seasoned. I had spent so much of my life unknowingly feeling sorry for who I was and shrinking and trying not to be so black and not in my skin tone. I don't think I've ever had a problem with my skin tone, but I would be in spaces and find myself being nicer because I knew that my skin would possibly, and my size, my stature would maybe translate as threatening. So I would go out of my way to be extra nice and extra kind and extra friendly and smiley so that I wouldn't be perceived as a threat. And I don't know, when I wrote Melanin Pop, I was just like, man, done are those days. I feel like we deserve to be in spaces and unapologetically be our full selves, show up as our full selves, come with all our slang, all our wonder, all our baby hairs, all the everything that just makes us who we are. So yeah, that's just where I was when I wrote it.
You said all of our baby hairs.
All of them.
I think there are gonna be so many people who gonna watch this and they gonna immediately get it. it's gonna be perfect. And this just reminds me, I want to say her name, Micaiah Bryant. There was a TikTok video that was going around with her doing her baby hairs. Oh man. Okay, I'm not trying to be emotional, but yeah, we could go on, and this is the world is heavy. The world is heavy, so we need art to continue to remind us of our beauty, and that even when people don't see it and they exploit it, that it doesn't take away or diminish who we are, and we just need to continue to have those reminders. So I'm excited to introduce Mahogany performing Melanin.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Just let me. We're in COVID world, and so here I am at home as DJ and and performer. So I'm on my Erykah Badu today. So give me 1 second as I cue up the track, run the track. Okay, and of course this is the day my computer wants to be funny. Okay, let's go. Oh, okay, not being nice to me. That's not cool. Nice. There we go. Melanin pop. Melanin floss. Melanin pop. Melanin floss. It's gotta be magic. Look at the way that we abracadabra. It's all in the fabric. I check the tack and the jeans are elastic. Maybe gymnastic. I flip the odds and then we surpassed them. We are the baddest. They trying to make it like we below average. Sweet as molasses. What they gonna do with all of this blackness? They trying to bag it. After my culture was taken, I have it. They trying to banish the truth of my beauty because they cannot stand it. They want my color, so they go and tan it. Label me of it and hand me a bandage. Been blue, black. My truth, that's facts. My boots combat. Even my hair fight back. I am clap back. I am aphrodisiac. Visual high contact. From the South NASDAQ. Melanin pop. Melanin floss. Melanin floss. Made it melanin pop. Melanin floss. Made it melanin pop. Melanin floss. Made it melanin pop. Melanin drip, I'm marinated. Vitamin D, I'm concentrated. Melanin pop, I'm carbonated. Look at the way that I lemonated. All of the lemon society gave me, you figured that I'd be eliminated. Said I'm just studied and imitated. I can be copied or duplicated. Way too original, I think it's criminal. All of the years we've been violated. Look at me everywhere celebrated. Now I'm all over, I'm syndicated. Melanin all through Bible. Melanin don't blend in. Melanin built us to the Bible. Melanin don't cave in. Melanin type, that's tribal. Melanin real African. Melanin real African. Melanin on top again. Melanin pop. Melanin floss. Melanin floss. Made it melanin pop. Melanin floss. Made it melanin pop. Melanin floss. Made it melanin pop, pop, pop. I've been blue, black. My truth, that's facts. My boots combat. Even my hair fight back. I am clap back. I am aphrodisiac. Visual high contact. From the stock NASDAQ.
Yes. Melanin popping. That's gonna be in my head for the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank
It
you.
is.
Thank you.
We love a good hook. I mean, that's what
You
it's
know,
supposed to do. It's supposed
just a
to
little
be in
pep,
your head.
just a little razzle dazzle.
A little razzle dazzle. A little razzle dazzle. How can people follow up and be in touch with you, Mahogany?
I'm always on Instagram. And so please hit me up there at sign MAHOGANYJONZ. Feel free to DM me or reach out to me. Not about no foolishness. Or you can hit me up on my website, which is www.mahoganyjones.com. That's MAHOGANYJONES.com. And yeah, pretty accessible and would love to hear from you. So reach out.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your art. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your generosity. I'm changed. This is a moment. And this book is going to be, I think, a blessing to a lot of people in part because of your very generous and beautiful contribution to it. So thank you. Sending my love to Daytona and to you and your family. Be well.
Thank you. You too.
All right, y'all. That's it. We wrapping up another episode of Centering Possibility Live. As always, you can get this book. It is available now at my website, www.chesarewarren.com, or of course, wherever books are sold. Let's support small book owners, bookstore owners, and Black-owned and Black femme bookstore owners, and let's get a copy of this book and support the art and all of the artists who have contributed to it. As always, until next time, be good to yourself and be good to others. Take good care.